What do you think happens to Paul after the movie?
Big question.
Well, what do I think? I think he lives, but that's just my opinion. There's no proof to the contrary. But it's supposed to be an ambiguous ending. I get asked that all the time, and what you see on the screen is exactly what was in the script. So, there was talk about Amy doing another one, and then Steve said they'd talk about it, maybe both of us doing another one, and then, and then I think at some point Amy didn't do it for whatever reason, and then they just decided they wanted to have new people all the time. But it was left, it's up to you, what happened, so that's what I say. I'm sticking to it.
Okay. We can open it up for a couple questions from the audience. Yeah.
I don't really have a question. Well, first of all, I want to say part 2 is the best in the franchise, hands down. As far as a slasher was pure film, absolutely.
You thought part 2 was the best, you said?
Part 2 is the best in the
I'd like all them to hear it.
As far as slasher technical, absolutely. I'm not just saying that because you guys are here. I defended part 2, had several debates on that with people. But I would have loved to have seen even Ginny and Ted, because we know Ted was at the bar and then he comes back and sees all of his friends slaughtered at the, we don't know what happened. Ted was at the bar trying to get lucky with the bartender or the waitress or whatever. I would love to have seen him and Ginny go have a spin-off going after Jason, getting revenge.
Well, do you know that was in part 3? In the script that they gave me, 50 pages.
I didn't know.
Ted, I'm at college, and I lend my roommate my red Volkswagen. The police come back a couple hours later going, "Oh my God, what are you doing alive? The girl in your car was just killed." Then I try to call Ted, and Ted and I start trying, and I say he's back, but everyone thinks like I'm a psycho and it never happened. And so Ted and I start tracking down.
That would have been awesome.
So look,
That's not a bad idea.
brilliant.
That's kind of a good idea.
Yeah, it would have been a great film. And even if he had survived, he could join in the Jason hunt.
Yeah, they could have made a whole movie of that without really many new characters at all, I suppose. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Little continuity.
It's kind of interesting too, because people would think maybe she's nutty because she just wants to get Jason and all that stuff. That would be kind of cool. Oh well.
They'll reinvent the brand sooner or later. And they need to make it more real.
Yeah.
More real. No one wants to see Jason go to outer space. What does he go out of space to go to the space station?
Yeah, Jason X.
And then but Elon Musk can go pick him up at the space
1
station.
through 4 was the best. I should have ended at 4.
It's got to be within the bubble of reality.
When Jason was human, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Zombie
that's
years.
what makes it believable to a viewer.
Yeah. Sackhead was the creepiest Jason of all.
Yeah. Well, they did get some inspiration from the serial killer in Texas. Yeah. Who was running around with a potato sack on his head.
Down the dreaded sundown.
Correct. So I think that was the inspiration of Victor Miller or whomever.
Oh, it's raining.
Yeah. Oh, it started raining. Fitting. I think it's on this side. Yeah. You, sir. Yeah.
What was your favorite film?
Favorite kill?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you asking all of us, or?
Yeah.
Oh. I actually think that whatchamacallit going down the stairs backwards.
Yeah,
Tom McBride was
Oh
pretty
yeah, that was
impressive.
good.
That was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then the 2-for-1.
2-for-1.
One sale. Lord. Yeah, I agree with that. Wow.
Yeah. No, Steve told me that he worked on that a long time, and he was very, very proud of it. That wheelchair thing going down the stairs backwards, and he thought it looked really good, and I agreed, and yeah. He told me he was, not everything he shot, and not just in that movie, but other stuff he did, was he thrilled with, but he really loved how that kill looked.
To me.
That was how well Carl Fullerton did the makeup and everything. Because Warrington, how many hours in the makeup chair was it?
Well, it took the entire day. So, you know, they started filming when it got dark. So we're having at it, and I would say at noon he's putting the pieces together, and the eye and the teeth, and he made a huge effort on that.
Yep. Exactly.
And he had known his craft pretty well, and he was even very young at that time. No?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
Exactly.
me, on the other hand, just took 3 or 4 hours.
And that was another thing too, especially because it was only, well, I say recently, but 5 years ago when they finally released the gore footage from Part 2 on the Blu-ray set. Because it taken so many years, because I believe it was on a work print copy that they had the footage on, but it wasn't transferable, so they had to, as far as I know, they had to do a special process for the VHS tape, and then they were finally able to transfer it onto the Blu-ray. And that was pretty cool to see, because you saw the actual ice pick scene with Alice in the beginning. You saw the hanging up, it was Russell Todd's character hanging upside down, getting his throat cut. It was much more bloody.
Right.
I say that with excitement, I'm sorry. It was nice to see too, because he's, his artwork was able to finally get the recognition that it deserved, and the NPAA, everything they like to cut out of movies that we love. It was nice to finally get that, so everybody could see it and everything.
I've never seen him again since we left the set.
I don't think
I think the cons ought to try to get him to come to one.
What was your favorite kill?
Maybe, we'll see what happens.
What was your favorite kill?
My favorite kill was the one where they left that guy hanging upside down. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Russell Todd.
Russell
Yeah.
Todd.
I see Russell Todd a lot. He lives right near me. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting too, because there's a
He's
new.
still alive.
Oh, yeah. There's a new graphic novel coming out they're using the likenesses of Russell and Lauren Marie Taylor. It's called Ripped to Shreds, and it was a script that was not. It was meant to be produced in the early '80s. It never got funding, if my understanding is correct, and the screenplay was acquired a few years ago, and now they're making it into a graphic novel, and it's going to be released. So they, for the comic book part of it, they used the likeness of Russell and Lauren Marie from just how they looked in Friday Part 2. So that'll be something interesting to check out. It's supposed to be released in June. It was on Kickstarter. I'm not sure how wide the release is going to be, but it's called Ripped to Shreds. So everyone gets a chance to look into it. You, sir. Yep.
Yes. Did Steve Miner ever indicate that the 2-for-1 scene he got from Veil of Blood by Margot Bottom?
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
It's been suggested that that's what inspired it, but they say that he didn't actually watch the movie. It's just he looks at it as a coincidence, but chances are it's probably inspired by it.
Inspired, yeah.
Anyone this side? You, sir.
Did any of you attend the premiere opening of the movie? And if you did, what was your reaction? Were you surprised how big the movie was? Or?
You know what? They don't have premieres back then. It was like, oh, we're going to screen the movie, on Beverly Boulevard at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. If you want to come. But so I know I was in New York when I first saw it. I don't remember.
With you on 86.
Yeah, on 86. Did we go together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went.
And we had
Yeah.
a big reaction.
But I don't remember a Night's Lights, I don't think they did that.
No, that was not like premiere thing or anything. No, but we saw. I went to the opening day, and it was pretty interesting because the people would. I remember there was a guy at one point, and he goes, and his girlfriend is getting nervous. Or no, his girlfriend says to him, "Jason's gonna kill her." And it was so funny. They were sort of predicting the kills, early on.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there, I'm hearing her say, "Don't go in there. How come she's so stupid?"
That's right.
What a dumb bitch.
Jason's gonna kill her.